What is up? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are again with another John Cena video. I know I've been pumping a lot of these out, but like I said it in the last one, I'll say it again. It's been on my mind a lot. A lot of stuff with John Cena has been happening in the news, so kind of brings a lot of his thoughts to the forefront with him turning heel. Spoiler alert there if you did not know. John Cena is now a bad guy, so very excited to get some villain John Cena figures hopefully sometime this year or next. I'm sure he'll have some new shirts, some new looks, things like that, so that'll be fun to see. But we are still on the quest to finish this John Cena collection kind of that they have so far, that they're kind of continuing with. There's at least 2 more figures I think they've already announced that should be out this year sometime to add to the list. But for now, we're still chugging along with everything Mattel's already made. And I've put together another set of 6 plus 2 bonus figures for today. So there'll be 8 total figures we discuss, but 6 kind of real ones for the collection, if you will. So to start it off, I'm going to start with one that I've owned for a long time. I actually bought it brand new when it was in the stores. And that is the Ghostbusters John Cena. Now, I didn't talk about this originally when I did the first video of like all of the John Cenas I already own, because I didn't think I was going to add this specific one to this set. I was thinking I might just get another one, kind of like I did with the Jacob Toretto Fast and the Furious figure. If you saw that video, I talked about it, how that I have 2 of that figure now, one for the John Cena collection and one for my collection of wrestlers kind of doing other things outside of wrestling. And I was going to do something similar with this one. However, this one is a little bit more expensive than that Jacob Toretto one. And I decided these Ghostbuster figures, they just don't really fit anywhere in my collection. So I don't need to keep them together. I have the Shawn Michaels, which I kind of want to do a Shawn Michaels collection similar to how I'm doing this John Cena one. So that one I'll probably take for that. I have this John Cena one now that I'll take for this. And then the other 4 guys are just kind of guys that I'll have, you know what I mean? The Undertaker's a cool figure that I'll just keep as kind of a weird one. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's maybe for another video. But that is why I've now decided to just add this to the John Cena collection. So it will be in the collection with all the Mattel John Cenas. And this is another one checked off the list for us. So another good one to have done. Like I said, it's not like break the bank expensive, but it's more expensive than that Fast and the Furious one for sure. So you're probably looking $30 to $40 for this guy if you wanted to get it mint on card. So I didn't feel it was worth, when I don't really have a great place to display the Ghostbusters ones anyways, and I needed this for the John Cena collection. So he is an elite. This is an elite style figure as well. And it's hard to tell with the shirt and he's got the plasma or proton pack or whatever they call that. Got the Ghostbuster weapon, things like that. But this is an elite style articulation figure. If you took the shirt and all the Ghostbuster stuff off, it would basically look like a ring gear John Cena with the khaki shorts and tennis shoes and the no shirt. So it would look just like he looks when he wrestles. But yep, so that is the Ghostbusters John Cena. That one right there. Next up, we're going to go with an old one. This is from 2010, so the first year that Mattel had the license, and that is the basic Elimination Chamber John Cena. So back in the day, they used to do figures for like every pay-per-view. So they had Elimination Chamber figures. They had figures for TLC. There's figures for Over the Limit when that was a pay-per-view. They have the WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, all that kind of stuff. Like they still have to this day. But back in the early days of Mattel, they did essentially every pay-per-view. And with Elimination Chamber happening just this past weekend and John Cena turning heel and all that kind of stuff, while I was watching the pay-per-view, I thought, heck, why not get the Elimination Chamber? This is John Cena's only Elimination Chamber figure. I'm not sure how many series of Elimination Chamber basics they had exactly off the top of my head, but this is the only one that John Cena had. Very, very basic figure. He's got the black sneakers, the blue jeans, and he's got the orange wrist gauntlets or wrist bands and the C Nation orange bicep band there, if you will, but very basic figure. This one I bought off eBay brand new. I opened it and it came with its own WWE stand. I talked about that in one of the other videos, but that's one of the actual WWE stands back when the Mattel figures used to come with them. So he did come with his own stand. So very cool there. I like when that happens. But yep, that is the Elimination Chamber. John Cena. I bought this on Saturday while I was watching Elimination Chamber, and I got this in the mail yesterday, Wednesday. So super quick shipping and turnaround from that eBay seller. So props to him. But that is the Elimination Chamber John Cena that I did buy. I bought it mint on card on eBay. I believe I mentioned it, but I bought this brand new in 2019 when it came out from Walmart. So that's where I got the Ghostbusters one. Next up, we have the basic John Cena. This is the exact same figure that I showed in the last video where I got the Netflix 2-pack with Austin Theory. This is now the Showdown 2-pack with Austin Theory of John Cena, but it's essentially the same exact figure. Everything that I can tell from it, it's the same figure. They just repacked it in that Netflix packaging. So it is what it is there. Another one checked off the list, another figure added. I got this one at a local Meijer to me, and I had a $20 gift card that I had gotten from work this year for the holidays. So I actually paid like $4 for this 2-pack when it's all said and done. So definitely a good way to get a figure that I basically already had. But we got the Showdown. This one had like a weird kind of plastic defect when I opened it. You couldn't see that side of his leg when it was in the packaging, but it's got like a weird, like they had an extra chunk of plastic on him. It's hard to tell, but you can kind of see the mark right there. But nonetheless, it's not a big deal. I mean, it came like that from the factory, so it's not like there was anything I could do about it. But that is another one checked off the list. Like I said, exact same figure as the other one. And we're going to start getting into that, especially with some of these basics. Like this John Cena that I showed from Elimination Chamber, I'm sure we're going to see some exact same John Cenas. If anything's different, it might just be the shoe color will be the thing that changes when it comes to some of the basics. But yeah, that is the Showdown 2-pack with Austin Theory that we have right there. So that is 3 of them off the list. Next up, we're going to do one of the weirder ones. I said I wanted to kind of keep doing some weird ones for February, and one of the weird ones that I did find was this guy here. And it's not really that weird, but this is the basic John Cena, and this came in the Scooby-Doo 2-pack. Now, that's why I kind of deemed it a little bit of a weird one, because obviously Scooby-Doo is a cartoon character. You don't really think of Scooby-Doo when you think of pro wrestling, but they did do a crossover with Scooby-Doo. There was a cartoon where wrestlers were in the cartoon with them. I can't remember what the cartoon was called exactly, but John Cena was one of the guys in that cartoon with Scooby-Doo, so they had a 2-pack with John and Scooby. I do have the Scooby-Doo as well. I did not buy these mint on card brand new. I bought them loose on eBay, but they look pretty darn brand new. I can't remember exactly if it was called out in the listing, but I believe they were never really played with. They were just displayed. But yeah, that is the Scooby-Doo John Cena. So like I said, that's why I deemed it kind of a little bit of a weirder one. It is just your basic John Cena with a t-shirt and jeans and stuff. Nothing too crazy, but I thought because it came with Scooby-Doo, it was a little bit more interesting. This is a pricey 2-pack as well, especially if you want to get it mint on card. It is a bit pricey. You're talking probably $60 or $70 to get it on card, which is why I did not do that. I did not pay anywhere near that for the loose pack. I don't remember what I paid exactly, but it wasn't anywhere close to that. But like I said, trying to get a mint on card set is a little bit more difficult. So that is why I got a loose version of it, and that is the 2-pack with Scooby-Doo of John Cena. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they only had one other 2-pack with Scooby-Doo, and it was with Kalisto, the luchador masked wrestler. I think that was the only other one. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's the only other one. That's the only other one I've seen, especially searching for that on eBay, searching, Scooby-Doo, WWE, things like that. That's the only other one I've seen. But so I believe it's just the John Cena Scooby and then the Kalisto Scooby that came out. But don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. Next up, we have another basic. I went very basic heavy in this set here, but this is Basic Series 22 John Cena. So very, very similar to that Elimination Chamber one. This is obviously just a little bit newer. Not too much newer. This is probably like 2014-ish, maybe, if not like later or earlier than that, however you say that. But this is Basic Series 22. I got this on Whatnot. Just a random guy, like not an actual like wrestling figure seller, but like a garage sale picker, like picked these up and sold it in his Whatnot sale. So he didn't know anything about wrestling, had no idea really anything about it. He just thought they had value when he saw them at a garage sale. I don't know what he paid for them, but I'm sure he didn't pay a lot for them. I think I paid like $8 for this in his Whatnot sale. So, I mean, and it was brand new. I opened it, so it was a brand new figure. So, made cheaper than buying a basic in stores today. So I wasn't upset about that. So that is the Basic Series 22. Checked off the list. It's basically, like I said, the same figure where it has except this one has the green wristbands and the green, it does say C Nation also, but the green bicep band there. So that is the Basic Series 22 John Cena. The next one, and I kind of saved it for last because it was a pain in my rear, but that is the Elite Series 7 John Cena. This figure, for some reason, just seems to be very, very rare. I don't know why. I'm not really sure if there's a story behind that. I don't know what the deal is, but Series 7, this John Cena from Elite Series 7, for some reason, does not show up on eBay very often, and to get it complete is also another debacle in itself. I actually bought two of these just to complete one figure, essentially. I bought the first one, and I saw it pop up on eBay, and I saw it said complete. It had everything, all that stuff. I bought it real quick, didn't pay that close of attention, so that's my bad. I got the figure in the mail, and it was an Elite. Or a Basic, I mean. It was basically like this Basic, but it had all of the Elite accessories on it. So that was unfortunate. So, but since I had all the accessories, I was then able to just find a loose mint Series 7 Elite and put the accessories on it, basically. And the only ones that were missing, like when I bought this Elite version, it had the shirt. It was only missing like the dog tags and the hat, I believe. And I was able to swap those over from the guy that accidentally put the accessories on the Basic. So kind of a Frankenstein job here, but with the rarity and expensiveness of this figure, I don't mind that. It does the job. This perfectly displays what a Series 7 John Cena would be if you were to get it and open it. I don't believe I've seen a mint on card one on eBay since I started this John Cena challenge. So I really don't know why this Elite Series 7 is as rare as it is. When I first kind of started getting into wrestling figures, back when I was like a senior in high school or so, and I was able to drive to stores and do kind of my own hunting without having to go or get driven there by my parents or whatever, I saw Series 7 in the Walmart closest to me forever, it seemed like. Series 7 had the Hart Dynasty with Tyson Kidd and I can't think of his name right now. Davey Boy Smith's son. David Hart Smith. And so it was those two. It was John, and then it was the three guys from DX, Hornswoggle, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. But I saw that Series 7 in my Walmart closest to me forever, it seemed like. I actually bought the Hornswoggle from that set at that point. I have it signed now by Swoggle, so I do have the Series 7 Swoggle mint on card signed by him, and I bought it at that time. And I saw the rest of this set, like I said, forever. And And maybe that's why it's as rare as it is now, because it didn't sell well. And, you know, a lot of them got destroyed or sent back or what have you. I don't know. But this Elite Series 7 John Cena has been the hardest one for me to track down so far. Any of the other ones that I've either searched or purchased or anything to that effect, I've been able to find pretty easy. The Scooby-Doo one was a little bit harder, but I could find listings for it out there. This Series 7 one was very, very difficult. I know I say very, very difficult, and I already have it this early in the year, but still, it was a tough one. I don't foresee really any of the other figures in this set being as tough as that Series 7 one, so good to have a difficult one checked off the list so soon. And that is the 6 that I have for the collection. Now, I have 2 honorable mentions here. They're not Mattel figures, but they are figures that I wanted to have as part of this John Cena collection. There's a few other ones that I want to have represented. I do want to get some Ruthless Aggression, some things like that kind of show John Cena's career throughout figure form. But the Mattel set, I think, does a great job of really highlighting his entire career and everything he kind of went through, especially once we get a heel one, when you know, in the future. But there are some other figures that I thought were either had cool stories or deserved a place in my John Cena collection, if you will. And first up I want to talk about is a Jakks Pacific John Cena. Now, the weird thing about this is this was a 2016 release, I believe. I believe this was a 2016 figure, and this came out from Jakks Pacific. Now, Mattel got the license to WWE in 2010, and they've been the sole creator of wrestling figures in America, or WWE figures in America, since 2010. When it comes to, you know, your basics, elites, things like that. But for whatever reason, in other countries or other markets across the world, they don't have the same monopoly on that, if you will. So at some point in some other country, Jakks Pacific was able to get the license and create WWE figures, and this is what they created. Now, it's not a bad figure. It's an odd size. So if you compare it here to what a basic looks like, he's definitely shorter than the basics. And then elites and ultimates are the same size. So he's definitely shorter than the Mattels. So I think that was obviously a misstep from Jakks there. They should have been in the same scale. That way you could play with these together if you wanted to. But I think it's a cool figure. If Jakks had continued making these figures, I believe there's only one series of this. There's John, The Rock, Undertaker, and I want to say Kalisto are the 4 figures in this set. And as far as I know, that's all that Jakks made. So I wanted to have this series, or that series of 4 that I just mentioned. I've always wanted in my collection, just because of the weirdness to it, the weird story behind Jakks losing the license in America to Mattel, and like Mattel taking over, but then Jakks still making this figure, you know, years later in other markets. I did buy this on eBay, and I had to have it shipped in, so it came from another country, of course, but it was super cheap. It was like $10, and it was brand new. I opened it, so nothing crazy there, but this will be one of the honorable mentions or the honorary, you know, pieces in my John Cena collection. And it gave me a reason to get a figure that I've always wanted and just never really had a place to display or talk about it, I guess. But super basic figure. There's not really any deco hits too. So like, he's got the blue wristbands and the blue bicep band, but it doesn't have the C Nation on it like we talked about in the other ones. And then the blue wristbands don't have anything on it either, just blue paint there. So very, very cool figure though. I like this figure a lot. I think these would display very well if you had, you know, a collection of like 100 of these or something. Like if Jakks, you know, really went to town making these, I think that would have been really cool. I do like this style. I think this is a nice figure. I may try to get the rest of them just to finish out the line, but I do really like this figure. So that is the Jakks Pacific John Cena. And then the last one I have here to show you is a John Cena Gujitsu. This is essentially, Gujitsu is like a similar take on like a Stretch Armstrong, where they have different goo in them and different stretchiness and different things like that in them. But they have different stuff in them, and you can play with them and stretch them. This one has corn syrup in it, so he's very stretchy, and then he kind of goes back to his original pose. But this is the John Cena. Gujitsu just started making WWE figures. At this point, I believe there's like 4 or 5 of them total, and John Cena is one of them. This went on like a deep clearance at Walmart for like $4 on their app, so I was able to get this for $4. I thought for that price and for the fact that my son absolutely loves Gujitsus, it's basically his favorite toy that he has. I wanted to have that as part of my John Cena collection as well. A little bit for the memory of my son, a little bit for the fact that it was on super deep clearance, so it wasn't that pricey. And then a little bit, like I said, just because I want to have some other John Cena stuff represented while I, kind of do this collection. As I see different cool stuff, I want to, kind of really build out a nice John Cena collection here. I think the Mattel, what would I say, 200 and something, 223 or something was what it was. Let me see if I got my list here real quick. 224 is what I had to start with. I'm down to, I believe, 197 now with everything I've showed you on the channel so far. I'm at 197. I did not count these. The last 2 I just showed you did not count in that. But 197 would be what's left in the Mattel collection. I believe I have 2 more coming. One coming from eBay and one coming from my brother that got me one, I believe. So I have another 2 on their way. But other than that, this has been my update on my John Cena collection. This is as of March 6th, I want to say is the date today. It is March 6th, yes. So this is as of March 6th now. We are up to date with all of my John Cena figures, at least that I have in my possession. So other than that, I'm going to head on out of here, and I will see you in the next one.